If fate frowns, we all perish. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Penumbra Overture. And I've already said the title wrong. Overture. This is a horror game. And Peter Avastrat doesn't do horror games. Peter Avastrat can sit in front of movies, horror movies, and laugh. Mr. Avastrat can read horror books and simply sit there. But Mr. Avastrat simply cannot play horror games for his life, for they freak him out very, very much. So, let us begin. I think we'll stick to normal. My story began in February year 2000. I'm not sure if this has got voice acting or not, so... I've only played a very small amount of this.
On my part of this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
What I'm amazed by is that this game is running in 1280 something. Wait. Finally, we're almost docked. I'd better stow my gear. I may be far from home, but chances are I can still pick things up using left mouse. And I could take a closer look at things using right. Oh dear. I can't stand it when games tell you to click certain buttons because, again, immersion's sake. Yeah, so we've actually... It's like Amnesia. It leads out onto the deck, but I don't fancy braving the weather until I have to. I was admittedly going to play Amnesia today, but unfortunately some problems with the recording happened, so I'm going to have to leave that one till after Penumbra. I was a bit disappointed, but no mind. Never mind. No mind? Never mind. Right. Here we are. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. So we've got our Jack Daniels... Oh my god! I didn't mean to do that. Jot down interesting reminders. I think I left my torch in the desk drawer next to the bed. It could be opened using my left mouse on it, holding the button down and moving the mouse. So this is actually running in a very low resolution, which is, I find, rather amusing. Always travel with a padlock, and a key preferably. Mine's in the inventory. Aha. There we go. My flashlight should come in handy. Torch should be able to access it. So that's a... what was that? That was a glow stick. Power my flashlight. Yes. So I haven't actually played much of Amnesia 2. I can barely cope with it either, so... Pretty odorous. Glad I'm getting out of here soon. They must eat and sleep and, well, do everything else in this one room for weeks at a time. So, just simply clicking is alright. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once again. I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of life at sea? I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need, so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed these overalls for you. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing that they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well away in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Right, there we go. And so begins our adventures. Okay. Our adventures into the wilderness. Already, it doesn't begin quite yet. The flashlight switches on. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Right, batteries. Sorted. Now let's set this. Padlock. There we go. Let us begin. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and I knew hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. What in the hell is that? I don't care. I need shelter. Looks frozen shut. I need something to beat it. So if I need something to beat it with, is there something around here? Gosh, it's been way too long since I played. Aha! I may be weak, but I can still throw things using the examine button. Yeah. It's unfortunate. There we go. I hope to God it's not frozen inside as well. So weak. If I just use interact mode, I should be able to turn that wheel a bit easier. Yes, R to R. There we go, the amazing visuals inside the porthole. You should have heard the terror. You should have heard the terror in my voice when I first... Well, yeah, it doesn't actually look that far, but... Rather die down here than suffer that cold any longer. Well, you should have heard the terror in my voice while I was playing Amnesia for the first recording. Oh. That's why I'm probably a bit lax now, because I've already just gotten myself used to the atmosphere already. A steel rod. It's a wooden door. I hope it's open. 3. I'm too far away to use it. I need to start thinking straight. Alright. It's stuck. There must be something in my way. Aha! Flare. Lovely. And another flare. A basic wooden door. Aha! There we go. Let's see. I can swing this hammer if I hold left mouse. If I can make a swing back by pulling the mouse right and then follow through with a pushing left. The opposite works too. Pulling back and then thrusting forward produces a stabbing motion. I reckon if I hold the mouse button after the back swing, I should still be able to look around. Yes. I think when I do Back to Old School, I might be playing the first Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone video game, because I grew up on that thing and I love that game so much. It's just ridiculously wonderful. And the Quidditch is good fun as well. Right, there we go. It's a weird combat system. That's probably why they got rid of it in the second ones. At least it's similar enough to Warband that I can get it now, as opposed to the first time I played this game. Years and years ago. Yeah, I couldn't cope with that at all. There we go. Gosh, well, I don't know where to go, I've got to say. So, I'm going to go back and... I'm going to go up here into this room, because that looks like the room that... Hang on, what? 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 Am I lagging? My god, I think I'm lagging. On Penumbra with a GTX 970. Hang on, so that goes... I guess that goes up as well. Oh, that's really weird. It doesn't feel like it would go there, but it does. My sense of direction is supposed to be good. Aha, there's a steel rod. Excellent. Follow it round. Oh, the sensitivity. Of course, that is exactly where you would want to go. Whatever I was descending into, it was 100 feet below ground, protected by 2 solid metal hatches, located in a remote Arctic wilderness, and buried beneath the snow. I didn't know what to expect, but it made me feel something I hadn't felt since I was a child. I'd never given it much thought before, but I realized that our entire society is a network of safety nets. Emergency services at the end of the phone line, health and safety in the workplace, friends, family, lovers. All there if something goes wrong, part of a carefully designed structure to prevent all but the most mundane of emotions. Once again, I felt like I did when I was in school, surrounded by a closing ring of older kids, knowing anyone that might help me. Friends, parents, teachers were too scared or too far away. I'm stuck! I'm trapped! I need to get out! Aha. There could be anything living down here. Heroics are for Hollywood actors and fairy tales. I'm not taking any chances. If I face off against anything down here, I won't last a second. Caution and stealth on my own defenses now. If anyone or anything hears me, I'd best off staying low and out of sight until I know whether or not it's a threat. Crouching by pressing left control will give me the chance to hide in the shadows. I'll know I've got it right because of the blue tint that my vision. Plus, I should be quiet enough that I won't be heard unless something's right on top of me. Better remember to shut off any light sources, though. A wooden box. Yes, I remember this. Right, storage, office. Bet is to hide for a couple of seconds or so perfectly still. That'll make me properly hidden. Like that, I'll be virtually invisible, and after some time I should get my night vision back, provided I stay still. There we go. Right, where are we? We are here. Wait, hang on. That's the exit. So perhaps the exit is our entrance. Alrighty then. Let us go to storage. Workshop. Office. Storage room. Storage or office? Let's go storage. Wonderful. Ooh. Hello. Oh, my surround sound's going all. Not sure if that's me breathing or someone else. Lots of paper boxes with rusty nails. So there's someone. So that's not actually me. Oh, yeah, here we go. These are one of the weird things, aren't they? Painkillers. Battery. Flashing adolescence. Are you sure that's flashing adolescence? If I remember correctly last time, we want to get these stones out of here. So we can move this box. Gotta love a good physics system. There we go. This trapdoor must lead to some kind of basement. Aha! Excellent. But first... we can't go up there. Reams of wiring. I may never get used to that. I'm not surprised. I feel like I'm missing something. To be honest, if I was this guy, I'd probably just grab some of the barrels and go back outside, but... no... oh, God! Oh, sorry, yeah. I'm not surprised you don't like spiders, mate. Nasty little blighters they are, aren't they? That's a dead end. Is this the ladder to go back or out another way? I'm just going to put it there just in case. So my poor little scared mind can handle it. Trust me, I'm pretty certain I'll get more scared than this, because right now I'm prepared for this. Especially after my first bout of amnesia. Oh, lovely. A horrible sight. Luckily it's mummified, or else the smell would have been awful. So that's back to the dogs. So my sense of direction is good. I'm just making sure that that stops. I know I've seen it happen. Aha! And eggs. Oh, dry, dusty old bags. Hmm. Okay. Day 1. I begin this record still in hope that the great work we have undertaken here might one day be of scientific value, despite the chaos which has ensued in the 6 hours previous. My aim is to remain secure until what helped there may arrive. What help there may be arrives. And to that end, I have barricaded myself in a small workshop area in the abandoned part of the mine. I hope the meagre food rations here will keep me alive, that those I hide from will not jeopardize that. Perhaps this mine really is cursed. And it's almost precisely 30 years since the incident that brought us here, and now 30 years on, fate has struck again. Day 3. I forecasted that today the rescue crews would arrive, but I can only hypothesize that they would be unaware of my location, and hence busy themselves evacuating the other survivors. If they have not arrived by tomorrow, I will go out in search of them. Day 6. My first mistake was to make assumptions on the matter of rescue. The second mistake was to make assumptions on the safety of this mine. My third mistake was to act on both those assumptions in going outside of my safe haven. My best estimate is that I left the workshop where it was secured about 2 days ago, in search of aid, and I found only danger. I approached the old living quarters, but curiously could find no sign of life whatsoever. I returned in what I thought was the direction from which I had come, but soon found myself in an unfamiliar locale. Confused but focused, I attempted to make my way home, but found myself threatened by some species of feral creature, which seemed to have made this old mine its home. Although the specimen bore significant interest to me, I chose to retreat, only to find myself outmaneuvered and outnumbered by the beasts. I turned and ran, injuring my ankle in the process, which I now believe is most likely a sprain rather than a fracture. For some time I cowered and fled into the dark, but a few hours ago I discovered a door leading to a smaller disused part of the mine, the key for which I still have in my pocket. Within that area I discovered this storeroom, and I think it should keep me safe for some time. This place is a maze. My lesson learnt, I will not venture out again until I am certain the area is safe. Day 19. Rescue seems increasingly unrealistic. Supplies diminishing, lots of spiders in this place. I do not like spiders. Day 34. I caught one of the accursed 8-legged beasts nestling in my mouth when I woke up this morning. In my surprise, I swallowed it. It's not so much the act of swallowing which concerns me, but the genus of arachnid. It would be unlikely that a cave-dwelling spider would be venomous to any significant degree, but the possibility troubles me all the same. Day 35. Any known venom would have affected me by now, and so today is the first minor cause for celebration I have had since the incident. By lucky coincidence, this revelation also means I've discovered a virtually inexhaustible supply of nutrition. I intend to venture into the basement beneath this storeroom, in the name of science, to discover more about these creatures' natural habitat. Day 50. For 4 days now I've been surviving solely off the quite considerable sustenance provided by the spiders. For some time I was struggling to gather enough of the crunchy little morsels. However, Lady Luck smiled on me once more when the batteries of my torch died, and I made a second life-saving find. The creature's natural habitat is the dark. With my light now diminished, I need only lie still for a few minutes, and I will have attracted enough of the beasts for a hearty meal. That's it. Excellent. Gosh, my throat feels parched now. I think we should make it through this steam and call it a day. Right. Oh no. Okay, this isn't too bad. Day 71. My earlier assumptions on the benign nature of my cellmates may have been made in error. After a careful autopsy, I am concerned that there may be a small volume of natural chemicals stored in the stomach which, if ingested regularly over a period of time, may become psychotropic or even lethal. My only real chance is to break out of here and raid any stashes of supplies I can find. However, the evidence against such a move is insurmountable. I have no light source. I swore to myself I wouldn't leave until I heard human voices outside. The spiders are so tasty. Day 100. From the marks I've been making on the walls and my scribbled diary entries, which, in the dark, may amount to an illegible scrawl, today is the 100th day of my new life. Over the past month, my edible friends have become more and more aggressive and have swelled in number and size. Whether or not this is a result of my plundering their ecosystem, I'm unsure, however, at this rate of growth. They will soon be too large to crawl through the gaps in the walls. For now I know, I could only be seeing the tip of the iceberg. If all fails and I'm never recovered, I hope at least that my study of, and indeed involvement with these fascinating creatures, will one day be regarded as an important point in natural history. The greatest names in modern science got there more through fluke than talent, and it appears that this new role has extended itself to my discovery of this delicious new species. I only pray that the second rule deems my breakthrough too insignificant, for all great discoveries tend to consume their inventors. Right. I came from that way, did I not? Oh, did I hurt myself? Or what? Aha. Hang on. Come on. Can't open with that locked intact. Let's try. There we go! Fluid, lighter gas. And batteries. This chest might be quite common. Aha! That should turn the gas off, I suppose. Well. I suppose this was just a nice find, I guess. Did we get hit? I'm as fit as can be expected. Wonderful. Right. Oh no. Lord. I'm disappointed in you. You, Avastrat. You found yourself... have found yourself mildly lost. Okay. So there was actually not really any point in coming down here. Ooh. Okay, so there is someone in here. So it wasn't pointless coming in here completely. Ooh. Right. You know, I think... Aha. There's the largest spider I've ever seen. Wait, let's get some light on that. Nothing in the chest. Is that a tongue? Internal organ. Maybe an animal tongue. Lovely. And beautiful. Just what we want. Beef jerky. Right, that's just what we want. This hole isn't large enough for a man. Not that I go anywhere near it. Even if it was, what burrowed out of this tunnel? Is it another spider, or... Right, let's call it a day, I think. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. And of course, good luck.